Today, from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
Man in motion left, that's Smith and Jigba. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now one in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And taken right on the 30. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at the southpaw, who will be calling the plays under center.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and the 2 pick.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-1 as opposed to the 2-1 that he had. But it is something to build on. They did get the win, didn't they?
Yep. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. The numbers for him from a week ago. Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The Cardinals hit 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That good for 19 and a first down.
Usually the big fella's a blocker, a lead back, but he gets the ball on first down. What a surprise for everyone. And as a former safety, if he breaks into the secondary and you see him coming, you just know that's a whole lot of man you've got to deal with now.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
First and goal from just inside the 5. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down. You look at this Arizona defense. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass, because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 9 catches, 86 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
On first down, Darnold. Open man is Barner, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender, because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play.
Darnold completes it. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Darnold running the option to the right side. And maybe the wrong read there, as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
In motion left goes a tight end. And they'll run on third down with Charbonnet. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Cards, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. He'll get this complete to the tight end Barner. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
2nd down and 4. And now a handoff to Charbonnet. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1. Eddie Pinheiro on now. From the right hash, this from 33. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game. And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complementary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. You talk about this Seahawk defense, and they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Marvin Harrison Jr. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit, because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a 1st and 10 inside the 35. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 73 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. Here we go on 4th down. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. On 1st and 10, Darnold. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention he deserves. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort, because you have a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. On the give, here's Charbonnet. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Again, it's Charbonnet. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, Dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Fielded just inside the 30. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
83 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Here's 3rd and a few inches. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. This offense, #1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. So the completion good for just 3. And 3rd and 8 now. He'll set up to throw. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Thanks to his effort, they now have a big choice to make here. He just ran them into field goal range with that one, so here come the choices. Do they kick it here, or do they trust him to make another big play and possibly get a first down?
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run on first down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation. Back to throw here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Marvin Harrison Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Darnold on first down. He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On first down, it's Darnold. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Darnold down to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Second down, here's Charbonnet. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Darnold. He's got room to roam. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that will bring up second down. Now it's Darnold. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the footballs. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
Charbonnet. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Seahawks have cut it back within a score. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 118 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. On the give, this is their fullback. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They find some open field here. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks' 12-yard line. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence. And you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They run behind center with Connor. The broken tackle could not free him as he's brought down at the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. They'll set up a throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown, Cardinals. Trey McBride from 13 yards out. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Now the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And they'll give here to Charbonnet on the option. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. And they'll send the slot in motion left. And Charbonnet once again. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Here's Darnold. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. A first down throw, Darnold. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
To the air again, Darnold. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down. But backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Throwing quickly to Wilson. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We begin on the whole other side of the country, Southern California, an AFC West matchup between KC and L.A. And it's the Chiefs who have the lead in the second quarter. Kenneth Walker with a couple of touchdowns there. From there, we'll make the trek east to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Derrick Henry, a touchdown run in the victory. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in and get the victory. Christian McCaffrey, a touchdown run in the victory.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Cardinals to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 176 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll try and run forward with Connor. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Good solid gain on 1st down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. 1 back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cards take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So this has been a pretty strong start to the year for him on the ground, CD. It's just week 3. That's already 5 rushing touchdowns.
And you know he's got big grins on their faces besides the rest of the team. The strength and conditioning program, because he was awfully dedicated to what they put in front of him to get ready for this year. Got himself into terrific shape, and he's dominated here early on.
The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the 2nd half. Darnold fights through it. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Darnold going right back to Smith and Jigba. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Back to throw, Darnold. And the ball is knocked out.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage. Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Are you sure?
Well, a lot of the runners kind of know. But I'll guarantee you someone has sent word into the offensive line that he's got a chance to get over 200 on this drive. That should give them a little extra motivation because they love it when backs break that barrier.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can do it. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
On first and 10 is Counter. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Flush to his right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's first and 10 at the 49-yard line. He'll drop to throw. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 41. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. They'll run it here with Charbonnet. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
At this point in the game, and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
No surprise they decided to throw on third down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Eddie Pinheiro on now. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And this is going to be a Cardinals first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll look to throw here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Throw left side, hauled in by McBride. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big play that time on a catch and run. And it's going to yield a new set of downs.
That's a big league job there, getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
A try here for the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. A 10-play drive that time. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Darnold, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Now run by Charbonnet.
And down he'll go at the 25. The crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I just came out of my chair. Big-time run right there, and all of a sudden I realized...
Didn't reach the chains, did he?
How do you go that far? Create that type of an explosive play that'll be a check and a plus on every grade sheet and still not get a 1st down.
Yeah, they had put themselves in a bad spot, but a big gain, that helps. That is caught, and they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
On the slant, here's Smith and Jigba.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
And complete to Smith and Jigba. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the 1st down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. This offense so far on 3rd down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing again is Darnold.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there.
And they will score. It's a pick-6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat.
Fresh off the pick six, it's Darnold.
We'll get that to Charbonnet.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, Darnold.
He'll get this complete to the tight end, Barner.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's Darnold.
He finds Smith and Jigba.
And they'll get this down to the 10. 11 yards for number 11.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants him to...
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes, but it's been pretty symptomatic. What we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Now Rodgers.
A short one here, caught by McBride.
7 yards there and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out. And deliver.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground.
And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Rodgers.
A short one here, caught by McBride.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Over the middle, it's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals 1st down as well.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look,
touchdown! An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Cardinals are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Smith and Jigba with a grab.
And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From midfield, here's Rodgers.
That one out wide and intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
Charbonnet. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field.
Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick 6 on the other side, and now they get a pick 6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick 6 from earlier in this game?
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Cardinals hands team able to secure the foot. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Julian Love picks it, and the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 41. And that was one I kind of saw it coming, Charles. You had a free safety just hanging back there over the middle, waiting, and he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means a free safety in the middle of the field, the 2 corners, and they divide the field in thirds. But when you have a free safety with range, like a good center fielder, he can go from side to side and make plays on the football as he did there.
From the 50, it's Darnold. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Darnold from the red zone now. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Darnold now to throw.
Smith and Jigba hauling it in on the out route.
And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Again, Darnold. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Seahawks have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Darnold to throw.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Well, in all likelihood, this ball game's still over. I mean, even with the interception, 2-score game, they need a miracle.
Curious decision to even throw the ball in that situation, but maybe they saw a stacked line of scrimmage and said, hey, it's better to try and throw it than to try and run against it. In any event, I think you're exactly right. Now, the other team can pad their stats, but I don't think they're going to win.
Yeah, but still, don't change the channel just yet. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Here's 1st and 10. Now Darnold.
That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. Darnold, it'll be their, and it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Cardinals have got it. So that should just about put an end to this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Rodgers throwing here. And Rodgers intercepted a third time.
Picked off by Devin Witherspoon. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing?
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Cards, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.